morning, Kitsap County. Today, we will be talking about the difference between a real estate broker that approaches you as a commodity versus a real estate broker that approaches you as a trusted advisor, and why that matters to you as a client. I'm Stephanie Dupuis with Dupuis Team at Keller Williams West Sound, and joining us today is
Cassandra Lopez, Dupuis Team, Keller Williams West Sound.
So Cassie, what's a broker that handles clients as a commodity? What's a commodity in real estate? And then we'll get to a broker that works with clients as a trusted advisor.
Yeah, good question, because it always helps to define what a commodity is in the first place so people know what we're talking about. So a commodity in general is a product or a service that you can purchase for, it's a low cost effort, not a lot of thought goes into it, not a lot of repercussions if you get the wrong one, so commodity.
Like a candy
bar. Or a cup of coffee.
Okay.
Or a computer. Those are all commodities. They're all stuff that we as consumers purchase for our benefit or whatever. And it's not a big deal if your printer goes out in a year, you're just going to go buy another one, right?
Yeah.
If they made you the wrong coffee, you're just going to go tell them to make you the right coffee.
Okay.
So that's a commodity.
So if I'm understanding correctly, commodities are items that can be bought or sold with little thought.
Little thought, little involvement, little to no repercussions,
Okay. Low risk.
Very low risk. Yeah.
Okay. And whereas real estate, for many people, is one of the largest, if not the largest, financial transaction in your life.
Right.
So it's
them over and over and over.
Okay. So if real estate's a high-risk transaction, a large transaction, versus a commodity as a low-risk transaction, we're now comparing a high-risk transaction to a low-risk transaction.
Most assuredly.
Okay. So a commodity is a visitor. You have very little risk if something goes wrong. All right? That's the bottom line with defining a commodity. Candy bars, coffee, computer, shoes.
Yeah.
Okay? And often when if we go to a flea market or something, we'll often on the spot negotiate commodity prices down. We like to haggle with commodities and
get the best deal.
Oh, it's fun.
Everyone's looking for a deal.
Everyone's looking for a deal. Okay, so real estate's more complicated than low-cost items, right? So real estate probably requires more smarts and more thinking a commodity than transacting a commodity. So do we see real estate, though, handled as if it's a commodity in our business?
All the time, every day.
So what are some indications of real estate being handled as a commodity? What are some red flags of that, and why is it a red flag? Why should a client or the public be aware of this?
So a red flag from the consumer's perspective, if they're interviewing agents, like for example, say you have a home to sell, a red flag that broker is going to treat your transaction like a commodity would be if they're willing to deliver a bunch of upfront money or services that's outside the scope of their license. For example, they're going to pay for a full landscaping of your yard, or they're going to pay to have damage repaired from your tenant, that sort of stuff. That's outside the scope. We have no business doing that. And they're willing to do that upfront before you even have a signed listing agreement, that they're treating your transaction like a commodity. They're trying to buy your listing. If they're immediately willing to reduce their brokerage fee, if they're, without having demonstrated any sales skills or negotiation skills or anything, and they're willing to say, yep, you asked me for my money and I'm just going to give it to you. If they're willing to do that.
And in fact, they did just demonstrate some sales skills, didn't they? Bad sales. Because
they failed to, whether they know it or not. That was their first opportunity to negotiate on the seller's behalf, and they failed, So
yeah, how did they fail? And how did they get the seller poor negotiating skills by reducing their fee right off the bat?
Yeah. So the seller thinks they're like, sweet, this guy's going to give me a deal. They're going to reduce their brokerage fee and save me a few $1,000s on the back end. But really, what they did was they're interviewing the broker and testing their negotiation skills. And instead of the broker negotiating for themselves, they just rolled over and was like, sure, you can have my money. So if the broker is that reckless with their own income before they've even demonstrated to you any services or negotiation skills for contracts, how do you think they're going to handle your investment and your net income at the end of the sale?
Yeah, they're going to roll right over and give away the seller's money.
They're not going to care because they treated your transaction like a commodity. They don't care how you feel about it.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to the old saying my dad used to say, past behavior is the best predictor of future behavior.
100%.
Watch the broker's behavior while you're starting the interaction. That's
Right.
the best predictor of how they behave during the sale.
Right.
And they just demonstrated how they're going to behave in the sale.
Yeah. So if they rolled over in the initial interview just to get a sign in your yard,
Yeah.
that's an indicator that, things aren't going to go well if the transaction starts getting rocky.
Yeah, if an agent lacks the fortitude and the spine to stand up to a seller, they're going to lack the spine to stand up to the buyer later.
Yeah, and if the buyer's got a really aggressive, bullyish broker on their side, so now you've got this bully agent working with this spineless rollover agent that's representing you. Like, how do you think that's going to go?
Huge risk in hiring a commodity broker.
Risk.
Okay.
Yeah, your money's on the line.
So what's the opposite of a commodity broker? What do we recommend the public look for when they're hiring a listing broker or any broker, but especially a listing broker? What's the opposite of a commodity broker?
So you're going to look for somebody who's going to be your trusted advisor. So this person is not going to tell you what you want to hear. They're going to tell you what you need to hear. They're going to set realistic expectations for not only the pre-listing process, but the active listing process, like showings and offers and things, and then the escrow process and up till closing. They're going to lay out a clear map for you, lay out all your options, and because they're going to be a full service, full fee broker, they're going to earn that fee. Any broker earns their brokerage fee, right? So if they charge you 3 to 5%, they'll earn it. They're just not going to do a good job to earn it because they're not getting,
Yeah, and let me ask you this, because I think we're going to give a pro tip here.
Yeah.
There's an easy way. Here's your pro tip, folks. An easy way for you as a client before you hire an agent to see if they earn their commission. You need to ask the agents, all agents you interview, for two things. Ask for the average sales price to list price for the area that you're selling in, to get what the baseline sales price to list price is. In our area right now, this week it's 100% of list price or sales price to list price. Last week it was 101.4%. And then ask for each agent's individual sale price to list price. Okay? Right now ours is 102.5% sales price to list price. It's typically 103%. We had a sale, distressed property sale, that pulled that stat down. But the agents will have enough, if they have enough professional knowledge, they'll be able to walk you through that and explain those types of things and compare them. So on average, we get 1.5% over the average in the county. Most agents don't.
Most agents don't, Steph, but also most agents won't know the answers to those questions.
Yeah.
You ask them, okay, what's the county or my neighborhood average sales price to list price? They'll be like, I don't know, somewhere around whatever. They'll give you a vague answer that may satisfy your question, but they likely would not have done the detailed research required to answer that 102.6% on the nose. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And you want to be interviewing, 2 to 3 agents that have a similar sales price to list price.
Yeah.
You'll notice this, those are all going to be in the trusted advisor category versus the commodity category, is what you're going to see. Really three criteria for a trusted advisor generally. One, they're going to ask you a lot of questions because they want to get to know you. They want to know what you need, because when you know what a client needs, you can help them get there. And there's always financial needs, but there are always other needs. You know, maybe the client's under a lot of stress and they need some help in some other ways. Maybe they're under a timeline crunch. Maybe selling fast is a high, of high importance to them. And maybe that's not of high importance, but there's other priorities. That's the job of the agent, is to sniff those things out and to ask enough questions to find out what the needs of the client are. The second indicator of a trusted advisor, or a broker that's acting as a trusted advisor, by the way, I use the word agent and broker interchangeably, the same in Washington State, is that they see things through the client's eyes. It's not about us. It's about seeing things through the client's eyes and helping the client get where they want to go and doing what's in the well-being of the client long-term. Commodity brokers are short-term. Trusted advisors are long-term. It's a long-term relationship. Our intent is to work with these clients for the rest of their lives, to get to know them and do what's in their best interest and in their well-being lifelong. And the third most important criteria of a trusted advisor is that they're passionate about the impact they make on the clients' lives. And this is something who the broker is. This isn't something they do. This is who they are. It's congruent with their professional lifestyle, their personal lifestyle. And you'll see that over and over again. I think when I see, when I look at our profession, you can easily see, it's an attitude, it's a mindset, is it not?
The quality of character.
It is a quality of character. But those are the three criteria to look for when you're interviewing agents, listing brokers, to identify a trusted advisor. And a trusted advisor, if money is important, if you want that deal, the best deal is a trusted advisor. You might not get a reduced commission. You might not save $1,500 on the front end, but you're going to save $10,000 on the back end.
And not only that, you have the security of knowing that your transaction was handled properly, whether it's a purchase or a sale, that there's going to be zero legal ramifications post-closing, that everything was buttoned up completely and no loose ends hanging out, which to me, like being able to sleep at night is worth any dollar amount, you can't put a price on that.
Well said. So, thank you for joining us. If you found this video helpful, please share it. Ask questions in the comment section below. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page. We will see you here next week. I'm Stephanie Dupuis with Dupuis Team at Keller Williams West Sound. And joining us today is
Cassandra Lopez, Dupuis Team, Keller Williams West Sound. Have a great week.
Have a great week.